Okay. All right. So I think let's start. We've still got a lot of people who've registered, but I think let's start. So first of all, everyone, welcome to the Power Hour. The new Power Hour is a weekly learning series designed for an exclusive group of SysAid customers. Each 1 hour Zoom session is hosted live by myself. I'm Cindy Civan. I'm SysAid's Director of Customer Success. And I'm here to bring you expert tips, best practices, and support you with a live Q&A in order for you to help you level up your SysAid experience. Just a little bit about myself. I've been at SysAid for 8 years now, and I'm originally from South Africa. I started off at SysAid. For those of you who haven't joined any of our Power Hours, I started off at SysAid in professional services for 4 years, and then joined the customer revenue team 4 years ago, which I absolutely love. So it's been good to have a good foundation of my product knowledge while starting off at SysAid. So I would like to introduce our guest speaker today, who is Steph Nakamura. Steph is from our customer revenue team, and she's one of our incredible, amazing enterprise account execs. And Steph, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name's Stephanie Nakamura. I have been at SysAid for 8 months. It feels longer than that, but I've been in other tech roles in the industry. But I'm excited. I see a ton of my customers that I work with on the call today. Excited to share some tips and tricks when it comes to reporting and analytics. And hopefully everyone learns something new today.
Amazing, Steph. Thank you so much. So today is our chance to gain practical knowledge of how to extract insights from your help desk data using BI analytics, which is going to be led by Steph. And I'm also going to walk you through how to create new reports directly in SysAid. And our goal today, Steph and I, is to equip you with the knowledge and confidence to create reports while deepening your understanding of BI analytics and how to effectively leverage reporting for better decision making. So just a little bit of housekeeping. As Steph already mentioned a few minutes ago, feel free to ask questions in the Q&A section at any time. My team will assist in answering them, and I'll also try to get to them during the session as well. You can also post some questions. You can also use the webinar chat as well. Ella, if you don't mind, if you could please post in the chat if you'd like to book a meeting by selecting the link with one of our account managers. You can book a meeting at any time. So Ella is going to post that in the chat right now. And I'm also going to be adding some polls during the session, so I'd really appreciate your feedback. And let's go from there. So before we begin, and before I hand over to Steph, let's launch our first poll. Ella, the first poll we were going to do, I'm keeping you really busy, Ella, because you've just added into the chat. And now let's ask our first poll. The first poll is, do you use BI analytics or SysAid's out-of-the-box reporting? Let's see what you guys are all saying. Okay, we'll keep it going just for a few minutes because everyone's still voting. Not a few minutes.
Wow, it looks like it's 50-50.
Yeah. Okay, some of you still haven't voted. Don't be shy. You can always vote. Okay, so thank you. So it's pretty much almost like 50-50. We're 52%. I'm going to end the poll where 52% are yes and 48% are on a no. So that's very interesting, and you're in the right place for both. So thank you for taking part in our first poll. Okay, so Steph, over to you.
Yeah. And I think that's the real point of our session today with Cindy is, how do we bring the awareness when it comes to reporting and analytics and understand the capabilities that are available to you as a SysAid customer. So our BI analytics is a module within SysAid. It is integrated with the Qlik Sense platform. We essentially white label it to really empower you to extract insights from your help desk data. This is available to you under the Analytics tab when you log in. And I see a question. It is available to both on-prem and cloud environments. It is a cloud-based solution, but it is available in hybrid mode for any on-prem customers on today's call. The biggest intent is for, admins, help desk supervisors, managers to deep dive into further analysis of service records, admin groups, and admins. And I will share my screen so we can go through a demo.
Hang on a second. I'm going to stop sharing. Demo time. There we go. Go for it.
Great. So for everyone that is in the Spaces interface, it is under Analytics, under BI Analytics, and you'll be able to access this platform. Now, once you come in here, it is a pre-built dashboard called the ITSM Performance Dashboard. You'll be able to see on your left here all of your tickets that you've closed on a month-to-month basis, service records, including incidents and requests, and the MTTR per month in the average by that line there. Now, you'll be able to filter your data and customize the data and the periods that you'd like to compare it to, and it will dynamically change. So, for example, if I change the comparison period, there are fields in the green and red here that will compare different periods. I recommend customers to leverage this to look at data on a month-to-month basis, on a quarter-to-quarter basis. This is a great way to start, analyzing not only your service desk performance, but, areas of improvement. You'll see a total MTTR for all admin groups. This might be inflated, right? Knowing that there's a ton of requests that come in. So I like to recommend individuals to really filter in by admin group. So you'll be able to do that on the right here and be able to click into a specific group to analyze. For example, I might not want to analyze the HR group here. So I'm able to, remove them, and maybe I just want to look at the IT security group. And then you'll see here that automatically it will dynamically change that data, really being able to drill down to specific insights. On the right here is you'll be able to see the source of the tickets coming in, the service records coming in. And this is a conversation that you can have with your SysAid team into understanding, how do we push, end users to self-service. In my case, I have a demo environment, so we imported a lot of those tickets, so it's in the other category. As SAR form is any manual ticket. So if I see this number being quite high, maybe there's a conversation on, how do we, convert all of those walk-ins and calls to pushing them to the self-service portal, for example, so that the team is not disrupted during the day, but also, finding strategies to help find efficiencies and provide a better and seamless end user experience here. If you are leveraging our SysAid Copilot, you'll be able to see the chatbot as well. You'll see the incidents per request here. We like to see this at a 30 to 70% ratio, 30% incidents to requests. So you'll see that average, and you'll be able to look at that. If you're leveraging changes and problems, you'll have that high level indication there as well. Now, I can also dive deeper into the tickets closed in MTTR, and this can actually dynamically open. You'll be able to see per admin group what each MTTR looks like, the changes between it. If you're leveraging our CSAT scoring as well, that will also be in there as well to really deep dive into the different groups. And I can export that information as well. This information can also be deep dive by category. So I can go in and expand that, look at the MTTR. Sometimes I see there's a lot of tickets under none. So this is a great way to also see, hey, is my system configured correctly? Is there a better way to perhaps categorize these, everything that was set up in the system, and look at your secondary categories, and you can drill down further.
Steph, I hope I'm not putting you on the spot. Because you already mentioned that we could export the data. What about the previous screen that you're in? It was per category. Could you do it per admin group, or could you see it the performance? No, it was the previous one where you were looking at per category. Could you filter it per admin group, or
yes.
administrator, for example. It doesn't necessarily only have to be per category, right?
Correct, exactly. So great point, Cindy. You are able to filter it by category as well. So if I just want to look at the network category, it will dynamically change as well. So this dashboard is really dynamic that you'll be able to drill down and get more of a high level piece, right? High level is good, but you also want to see, right, and drill down by MTTR per specific groups there.
And Steph, if you don't mind, is there a way for us, because obviously I can see you working on a quite a big filter over there. Is there a way to save the filter?
To my knowledge, there's the standard filters of yesterday, last 7 days, last 30 days, this month, and last month's. I'm using a custom filter. The filters up here will save. I can also exit out of the comparison dates, but this is all customizable on this end.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And the other key sheets, so this is just one dashboard. We have over 20 sheets that are available that are pre-built. I do want to drill down to some key ones that I think that will be helpful for everyone to learn and also go into once they have some time to really go into and deep dive into the BI analytics is the SLA indicator. This is a great one of not only looking at how many tickets are closed within 24 hours, within 1 to 5 days, or 6 days or more. I typically see, right, the MTTR is quite high when there's a backlog of old tickets. And I've seen, some certain data where there's a ton of tickets that are 100 days old. So it's a good conversation to have with your teams. Hey, do we just, do a clean out of all these old tickets so we can reset our MTTR? We can start tracking this correctly. Now
sorry, Steph, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Could just with regards to locations, can you view the data by location?
Great question. So, Cindy, here on the right pane here, you'll be able to filter by location if you have this set up within your SysAid instance, and then also by department. So really looking at the data differently. A big one that I like to recommend customers look at is the SLA versus targets. This is a great way, like I mentioned, to look at that backlog of tickets that you might have that are 100+ days old. Is that really will impact your MTTR if you close it out, and that average will go up. So there's a ton of ways to look at, and then you can even drill down by SR details and drill down to the specific service record. Another question I get often is, okay, so right now I can see both incidents and requests. You're also able to, if you like, just filter by incidents. So like the ITSM performance dashboard, this is also dynamic. I'm able to then filter in and just focus on, for example, July and look at all the incidents that are maybe in that backlog. Similar to the ITSM dashboard, I'm able to filter by admin group and by category as well. Now, I've filtered a lot of filters, as you can see here at the top. I can always exit out of them and go back to the ITSM dashboard here and start my journey as well for the analysis. Now, the other sheet that I like to go into that might be helpful for everyone is the efficiency indicator. Now, this is going to show you the amount of tickets that required 0 assignments to 1 assignment and 2 assignments to really look and analyze, what is being escalated, what is being handled by tier 1 versus tier 2. Again, similar to the SLA resolution sheet, I'm able to filter by category, department, location, even the source as well, where it's coming from, and the SR details as well. So this is a great sheet as well to go into and analyze. Those are the main pieces on the ITSM performance dashboard. Like I mentioned, we have over 20 sheets that are available. So I've clicked on the top here with sheets. You'll be able to not only look at incidents versus requests, the efficiency indicator, SLA indicator, any ticket sources, but I also like to share some key ones that I think would really help in terms of just analyzing your data. So here I have all of your active service records. You'll be able to see the breaches from requests and incidents. I'm able to filter by category here, the age and by admin group. and I'm able to filter this in a pie graph. Now, everything you can export as well into a PDF or Excel, and there are opportunities to also customize sheets. I would recommend to contact your customer success manager or a team to look at customizing this outside of the pre-built sheets that we have. For the individuals that are using our SysAid Copilot, we've recently uploaded and launched our SysAid Copilot usage dashboard in lieu of the one that was in the product itself. It gives you more of the analysis of conversations per channel, looking at the different unique users it touches, the self-service rates, the data pool coverage. We can definitely set up maybe perhaps a different session to go over more AI usage, because that can take quite some time to look at, but this is available to you as well that I wanted to highlight. Those are the key insights that I wanted to go over today when it comes to BI analytics, and I will take it back to Cindy.
Thank you, Steph. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions before we
jump for sure
onto the reporting? So, Steph, you said that there were 20 sheets there. Could you maybe describe like most of your customers, like what are the top 5 sheets that your customers are using, just to give everyone, because there's obviously such a big choice.
I know, great question. So the main one's obviously the ITSM dashboard. That's the quick way of finding out and filtering by admin groups. And I would recommend, right, to share this access to all of the heads of those admin groups, right? They should know and see and track the performance of their group itself. Incidents versus requests that I've shared, efficiency indicator and the SLA indicator. I like the active service records because it will show you all of the active service records in the system, and you can start proactively looking at tickets and saying, hey, why isn't this closed, right? And start having those conversations with your team. So great question.
Okay, amazing, Steph. Thank you. I know that there's a lot of questions in the chat, and I see my team are actually answering a lot of them. Let's just see. I'm just going to try and scroll through them to see. So questions. Can you create a custom dashboard with reports that you specifically need instead of having the pre-built ones? That's a question from Andrew Lucidi.
Yep. So I would recommend to connect with your customer success manager. We can definitely create some custom sheets that I mentioned, and there are options to do that. I like to say, look and understand what is available today, and then see what we don't offer, because there might be ways to drill down the data as well that you aren't aware of. So I would recommend setting up a session with your team.
Thanks, Steph. And I remember from when I was in professional services days, BI analytics would update every 12 hours. Is this still the case?
Yes, so it updates and refreshes every 12 hours. And the reporting, I believe I saw a question, it is based on closed tickets. So you will have to use the active service records sheet to look at anything that's open.
Amazing. Okay, great. All right, so there's a lot of good questions. Everyone, thank you so much for being so engaged. And Steph, thank you for giving us a walkthrough. Of course, if there's any other questions, please feel free to type them in the chat. I'm going to start sharing my screen, and I'm going to go into details with regards to the reporting. So let me share. There we go. I hope you can see my screen. Steph, if you can't see it, let me know.
We're good on my end.
Amazing. Thank you. All right. So where do we start with SysAid reporting? So as you can read over here, SysAid offers a comprehensive set of out-the-box reports designed to help you monitor your help desk performance. You can track inventory and measure the progress of any tasks and projects. Additionally, and this is what I'm going to show you today, you can create your own custom reports within SysAid, which remain fully editable even after initial creation, allowing you to refine and adjust them as you need and as your needs obviously evolve. So there's a few things you need to consider, questions like what are the key insights or metrics that you need to gain a clearer understanding of your help desk performance? What are the specific areas that you'd like to identify and address for any type of improvement or anything like that? So I'm going to before I go into the demo, just keep in mind, what are the types of questions, like what do you want to see? But let's see, for example, in my second poll, Ella, if you could please launch it. Could you describe why reporting or visual analytics is important to you? What is it exactly that you want to see? It's a free text, so I'm going to give you a minute or two just to answer. There we go. Could you describe why reporting, visual and analytics is important to you? And let's give that a minute. Thank you. I see some answers are starting to come in. Amazing. 20 of you have answered. All of your dedication and typing skills, I can see, is obviously very, very quick. And a lot of you are sending in some answers. So thank you so much. Okay, we're going to end the poll in about 10 seconds. Okay, so hit send so that I could end the poll. Amazing. Okay, so I'm going to end it now. I do want to actually see some of the feedback from what you guys have said. Some of you have said it's very important. This helps us tell the story of what our team is doing on a day-to-day basis. To measure my process, to dedicate more resources to each activity. That's really very interesting. For presentation and reporting of data to stakeholders, to send daily reports with valuable insights to managers. Okay, amazing. So let's talk about those insights. And I'm just going to go back to the deck over here. One thing that I can share, and especially from my professional services days, is a lot of customers wanted to see how long it's taking for their administrators to respond to tickets and how long is it taking for admins to resolve tickets. Okay, that's like one of the biggest questions that a lot of the customers that I speak to now, not only from when I was in professional services. So I'm going to show you how to create a report pertaining to this, and let's go from there. Okay, so this is my demo account. As you can see, I'm going to show you in Classic, but it doesn't matter whether you're in Classic or in Spaces. You're going to go over here into the Analytics section, and you're going to select Reports. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new report. Now, before I create a new report, I was actually saying to you earlier, we've got a whole lot of out-of-the-box reports, as you can see, which you guys should honestly feel free to click on, open them up. If you want to see open and close records per administrator, we've already got built-in reports that you can actually configure and literally just run, okay, which is quite easy. But the point of today is I'm going to show you, like I said, how to create a brand new report. Okay, so let's go into create new. Creating new report. And because we're specifically looking at service records, this is a service record entity. Of course, if you wanted to create a report on asset management or any of these others, you obviously can. But for now, for today, it's service record. And the report I'm just going to say is time to repair and time to, I guess it's the same, time to repair and time to resolve. Just call it Cindy. The category is where am I saving it? I'm saving it under general. And you can also define over here, who do you want this accessible to? All groups, maybe a specific HR group, or maybe it's finance, maybe it's management. So you can decide. For now, I'm going to make it accessible for all groups and select done. Okay, so now you can see I've created the basis of the report. So I'm going to open it up. Now, if there's anything that you guys are going to remember is you are going to remember Cindy's words talking about the green pen, because the green pen is over here on the top right-hand side, and you're going to be using this a lot, and you're going to be clicking on it on some of the cases and not clicking on it. So if anything, you're going to be dreaming about a green pen tonight, and if you do, send me an email tomorrow. Okay, so first and foremost, the report's created. It's a service record report, and we want to now define some of the data. Okay, so super important. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to click on this green pen that I'm talking about, and you're going to see it opened up this data tab over here. And the data tab is, what columns or what fields do you want to see in the report? So, so right now, as I said, I'm creating a report to see what is the time to repair and the time to resolve for my administrators. So over here, I'm going in and I'm going to pull these two fields into my report, and it's really, really easy. I'm just going to drag them. Okay, that's time to prepare, time to respond. Okay, let's just widen this up a little bit if I can. I don't think it's not letting me. Okay, it doesn't matter. But so these are the two things. Now, for example, maybe I do want to see what the category is. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't want to see the title. So you can remove columns. Okay, just remove them like this. Maybe you don't want to see who the request user is. Maybe you don't want to see what the priority is. So I'm just removing some of these columns. And request time, you probably might want to see, but just for the sake of the report and what I'm showing you, I'm just removing the categories, the subcategories, and so forth. Of course, you want the ticket number and the status for now. And what else do we want to see in this report? Maybe we want to see the admin group. So let's go over here. You can either just type it in over here, or it's right at the top. I know it's at the top, and I want to see the admin group, and I'm just going to drag it in as well. And the process manager, who's the assigned to, I'm just going to move it over because I want this a little bit more to the left. In fact, I'm going to put this first, the process manager. Okay, amazing. So as you can see, I've chosen all of the specific columns in my report, and I don't want to add in anything else. Of course, there's a whole long list. You can just drag what you want to see if you needed to. Okay, now what's super important is this time to repair and time to respond field. Now you can see the arrows over here. In the drop-down little arrows, you want to click on summarize this field. Okay, why do you want to click on summarize this field? Because I'm checking to see how long it's taking my administrators time to resolve and respond. I want to see how many tickets they're working on. I want it to count, like how many hours they're actually spending. I don't necessarily always use minimum and maximum. It will come up in the summary anyway, but I want to see the average also. What's the average ticket time they're taking to respond to a ticket and to resolve a ticket? So I'm going to select done. Okay, and you're going to see why this is super important. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing to summarize this field with these three specific items over here. Done. Okay, I'm going to save it in the meantime. You should always be saving the report as you go along. Okay, now what's super important is I want to now group the report by this field. Why? Because I want to group it per administrator. Of course, if you want to do it by admin group, you can, but for today, I want to group it by the administrator. So you click on group by this field. Okay, so now what you're going to see is, and we haven't run the report yet because obviously we're still setting it up, but you can see there's John Smith, who is me, and I'm kind of just taking a little bit of a squiz down here, even though I haven't run the report yet. I'm just taking a squiz to see how many tickets there are, what's the sum of the hours. This is 9 hours and 7 minutes, okay, just so it's not 9 minutes and 7 seconds, it is 9 hours and 7 minutes. This is 317 hours, but we're going to run the report. But right now, I'm very happy with with the data that we've chosen, and I'm going to save it. And I'm going to pause. I just want to see if there's any questions or anything.
Yeah, Cindy, there was a question on what the difference between time to repair and time to respond was.
Amazing. That's a great question. Oh, what does squiz mean? I'm going to take a quick look. Thanks, Pete. That's a great question. Okay, so Janikin, you asked a good question. So time to repair is how long is it taking your administrator, and it could be a few administrators, how long is it taking for them to resolve the ticket from the minute the ticket gets created until until you've closed the status of the ticket? That is time to resolve. Or time to repair. That's for the whole ticket. Time to respond is how long is it taking when the ticket is submitted for your administrator to respond to the ticket. So when he changes it from new, maybe to the open status, how long is it taking for him to respond to that initial ticket and from when it gets sent? So I hope that answers your question. Thanks,
There
James.
was another question, about the time to repair and time to respond. Is the time repair defined as when the ticket is open to the time it is closed?
Yes.
Which is correct. And then does this account for pending time of the ticket? So pending time for ticket.
Pending.
Yeah, so
okay, so I'm happy to answer that. Steph, did you want to answer?
You go for it.
Okay. So the pending time in a ticket, so what's super important is over here in your timers, you've got to make sure that your timers are set up, because you can see I've got time to repair and time to respond. Now, remember, I said your time to repair is from start to finish, okay? Now, you need to make sure in your timers, let's just say you're using a status like you're waiting for the customer to respond. So you want to then exclude that status from the actual timer, because why should one of your end users who's on vacation, who's going to take 1 week to reply to the ticket, why should that come out of your SLA? So you want to kind of add a line over here where, and I don't even know if I've got the status. I'm just, sorry, not stolen, status. And this is when, so this is when it's the statuses that it will not include. Okay, so obviously, if there's a status that's called, I want to see if it's waiting on, pending for customer response, there we go. Then you would add it in here, all right, and create the filter and then apply it. Okay, so any statuses where you don't want it to include, and I hope that answers the question, you would actually set that up in your timers. And if you've got questions about this, jump onto calls with your CSMs, book meetings with your account managers. We're all here to help you and make sure that you're getting the correct data. Okay, I'm going to move on and let's continue. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the filter tab. Now you can see over here, everything is grayed out. So this is where you actually need to click on the green pen and uncheck the green pen. Okay, so there we go. You can see it's come alive. Now, what am I doing? You can either create this report per category. If you want to do it for incidents only, you can. If you want to do it for any specific statuses, you can. But I'm going to show you how to do that in the advanced filter. But for now, you can also select the request time. So I'm just going to do for the last 30 days. There's a lot of options. I'm going to select done. And what I also want to do is I want to do this for statuses that are closed. All right. So let's go in here. So if I just want to do it for a status, and in fact, let's cancel. If I just want to do it for statuses that are closed, then I can just select it here. But maybe there's two statuses that I actually want to use. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the advanced filter. All right. Yes, you can change the date manually. You can customize it if you want to. So over here, add new filter, and I'm going to type in status. If I can only just spell it correctly. Okay, so status, I know it's at the bottom. Click on status, select where the status is, and let's just say I want it to be, let's see what else I've got. Request completed. Okay. And in the status, hang on a second. Why am I not finding where's my status? Let's just type that more. There we go. It's right at the bottom. Select. and the status is closed. Okay, now you're going to see what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make a mistake on purpose. I'm going to select done. Of course, now you're not seeing any data. Why? Because my advanced filter is completely incorrect. I don't have a status request completed and closed. There's no such thing, but I do have request completed or closed. So you need to change it. Okay, and then select done. I don't actually know if I've got any here for request completed. I just decided to choose that now, but that's how you could actually use the advanced filter. And of course, it's not only for statuses, it's for anything else as well. So feel free to play around. Okay, so right now I'm going to save this. Okay, great. And let's now move into the layout. Okay. Now, the layout, you have to click. You can see nothing's happening here. So this is where you've got to click on the green pen. So all you need to do is remember the data and the layout tab. You have to select the green pen. The filter, you do not select the green pen. Okay, so let's go in here. So first and foremost, you might want to have a pie chart. And I actually think the recommended way to do it is actually by process manager or admin or assigned to. It's the same thing. We want to include the list in the report. The list is all of the data. So let's include the list. Where do you want to put the chart? Do you want it small? Do you want it medium? Do you want it large? Per different charts that you choose, you're going to see there's going to be different fields that come up here. Okay, so you can see over here, if I choose this chart, you're going to see then the aggregation and so forth comes up. If I choose this bar graph, then of course you can't aggregate, but so there's all these other options that you can choose. But for now, for the sake of our exercise, I'm going to choose the pie chart. Now, while I look at this, I'm seeing that John Smith and Oded, I know it's Oded Moshe, they were both working on like 22 to 18 minutes. It's strange to see that there are closed tickets that are none assigned. So this is immediate, something for you to think of. How come there are tickets that are closed that haven't been assigned to anyone? But we haven't even run the report yet, but it's just something that I noticed. Okay. You also will want to notice, what's the average times, for example, for John Smith. Like have a look here. So his count is 22 and his average to answer a ticket is 7. This is time to repair. Okay. Time to repair is 72 hours. All right. I wonder, did I choose the same? No, this is time to repair. This is my first and my second timers. That just happen to be the same for some reason. But what you do want to do is, if you scroll down, okay, and if you look at Oded, his average is 4 hours. Now, this is quite interesting. For example, why is it taking John Smith, who happens to be me, 72 hours, and Oded Moshe 4 hours to repair a ticket? So it doesn't make sense. How come, for example, John Smith is dealing with the same amount of tickets, but it's taking him so long to repair, and in this case, so long to respond? So definitely, this is the kind of insights you obviously want to look at. Okay, let's go back over here to setting up your sheet. You can choose the paper layout. Do you want it landscape? Let's choose landscape. And do you want it as a PDF, an Excel, or a CSV file? So I'm going to choose PDF. A lot of people do prefer Excel, but I want to show you how nice and professional PDF is. So I'm going to select it. Okay. And you can create over here by clicking on this little pen, you can create a cover page. So this is time. Well, let's just call it resolution times the last 30 days. Okay, and I'm going to select done. Okay, you can put a header on this if you want to. Like you can choose who's it, the name of the report, a middle header, what the run date and time. You can put the logo in as well. I'll select done. And of course, you can choose a footer, which is pretty much exactly the same thing. Let's save it in the meantime. Okay, great. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I want to do with this report before I run it. There's one thing I actually do want to do. I wanted to actually just go back into my advanced filter. And because I don't have request completed, I just want to choose another. I do want to choose another status. And let's see, let's just choose open. Okay. Select done. I just want to kind of see if there's a little bit more data. Okay, let's save it. It's got it. I don't think it's saved. No, it didn't. Hang on. Oh, it did. Done. Okay, there we go. And let's save it. Okay, so I'm gonna run the report. Before I run the report, I just want to see if you've got any questions. There's no questions. Okay. Hopefully I'm providing.
I guess, Cindy, one question I have. Can you schedule out these
Steph,
reports?
thank you. Yes. What's that?
Can you schedule out these reports?
Oh, I'm telling you, you took the words out my mouth, Steph. You can schedule it, and let me show you where I have saved it. So let's go back into all reports. Here it is. You can put it on a schedule. Here it is. And you can schedule it starting from when do you want to send it, every week, every day? Who do you want to send it to? You can even type the email body, hi, please see this report, and whatever you want to type, so that you don't need to do absolutely anything. You can completely schedule this and you don't have to go into the report. Okay, but for now, I will just cancel it, but this is where you do it. So let's go in. Let's run the report. Okay, and we can see it's over here, so I'm going to open it up. Okay, so hang on one second. There's one thing that I didn't actually do on this report is that, let me click on the little green pen. I didn't include the list. Okay, so let's save it. And let's run the report again. Okay, so here you can see it. This is the resolution time. You can see as a PDF, it's really good. Here is the pie chart. And you can start moving down the report and start looking through the relevant specific data. Okay, so what insights would I look in by looking at this report? Of course, you want to compare your administrators to see how long it's taking them on average to repair, to respond. Perhaps there was an issue with my timers. That's exactly where I'm getting exactly the same calculation. But you do want to see, for example, like Oded over here, or these are the unassigned. Like we said, Oded is taking a very long time to respond and to repair. Obviously, it's my test account, but then you would go in and you would have a look at your other assignees, and you can see how long he or she's taking and how many tickets they've got. And I can tell you that this helps identify a few things. First and foremost, let's just say, for example, you have a midnight shift. Let's just say you've got people on your service desk that are, and it's one person, and you can see in his shift that he or she is getting 50 to 100 in the space of maybe 5 hours. And maybe in the day-to-day, you've got 5 administrators and they're getting a lot less tickets because there's a lot more administrators. So reports like this will help identify if there's any bottlenecks, if you need any more administrators in specific shifts as well. Or maybe John Smith, who's me in this case, and I do not smoke, but takes too many smoke breaks during the day, and maybe it's taking him or her too long to respond to tickets. Okay, so this is just one report. There are so many others that you can do. So I would suggest you to reach out to your customer success manager, who will be able to help you. And I want to, just before I share with you guys what's in it for you today, you said, Sri, when I selected duration of the days, I'm not able to select more than 2 months. So I would like to type the date rather than select from the calendar. I don't know if you can, but let's just say, for example, over here, Sri, you can go back as far back as however you want. Maybe I just want this report and you'll click on custom from February the 24th to May, let's just say, for example, August the 31st. So you should be able to select whatever date you want. You shouldn't have you shouldn't have a limitation of 2 months. And if you do, let us know, and customer care can help you. Can I create reports to measure AI usage? Steph, do you want to take that one?
So right now it is in the BI analytics today. If there's any specific reports that you like to create, or we can help create and customize it, but all of it will be on that AI usage dashboard, and we plan to launch more sheets that are dedicated to AI usage as customers, further adopt it, and we can deep dive into the analytics a bit more. But I like to highlight with Cindy's, right, with her reports as well, the timers. That's why it's so important to be configuring your timers correctly, your due dates, because that's where you're going to get the actual insights that you need to pull on that monthly, quarterly basis as well. So if things are not as configured, right, and when you're pulling these reports, it might the numbers might not make sense, feel free to reach out to us, right? Have that conversation. Maybe it's time for us to edit some of these timers or these due dates or even the SLAs that were set up, because as we know, things change to different businesses and end users change, and we're happy to help with that as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's also a really good report where you can actually, if you've got your due dates configured, which is your SLAs, it's actually a really nice report that you can configure to see if you like, what are your service records that are in breach, and it's set up by an escalation rule. Again, we can help you with this, but you can actually set up to actually go in, and this was also a very, very popular report, to go in and see which of your service records are in breach, and this is because they've passed their due date. So that's also a really popular report that I highly recommend.
And just to add to that, the BI sheet with the breaches that I showed, the SLA versus breaches, it's actually pulling from the due dates that you've set up. So if you've set up these correctly, you'll be able to see that on the BI analytics sheet as well.
Amazing. Thank you, Steph. Okay, guys, so let's go back to the deck to see, okay, what's in it for you. So what is in it for you? So buy 2 BI licenses. It's only for you guys that are on the Power Hour today. What's in it for you? Buy 2 BI licenses and get 2 for free. So if this is something that interests you, please let us know. If you would like, let's launch our next poll. If you would like, Ella, if you would like one of our account managers to contact you with regards to purchasing BI licenses or anything for that matter, please type in a yes or a no. I'm seeing some yeses coming through, which is great. So yes, so buy 2 BI licenses and get 2 free. Ella, if you can also please put in the chat right now the link to our landing page for our next Power Hour, which, like I said in the beginning, we hold every 2 weeks. If you can just, because we do have some really nice other Power Hours, which you guys can register for now. Other than that, I would love your feedback. Hope the session was amazing and helpful to all of you. Steph, thank you for being my guest speaker today. You were amazing, and I know now why and how all of your customers love you so much. Let us know what you thought of the session, and thank you so much, all of you, for joining us. It's been great to have you, and we'll hopefully see you again in about 2 weeks. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.